Good afternoon, gentlemen. My name is Jerry McCormick. I have come from a military, police, private security background. Okay, that's my background today. The aim of this lesson today is I am going to be teaching you effective communication, and I'm going to be teaching you the correct body language, positive body language in relation to conflict management. However, before we go into that, I would like just to go around the table and briefly, very briefly, tell me who you are and quick 10 seconds on what you've done. Starting on this side.
Okay, I'm Joey Ganoza. I have worked in the security industry before the SIA came about, and then SIA came, so we started doing training to teach security operatives, and I've done security since I was 18, so I've done it for many years, nearly 17 years.
Thank you, Joey. Thanks,
My name's Colin Gibson, and I work at Manchester City Football Club for 30 odd years, doing the stewarding.
Thank you.
Stewarding part.
My name is Dr. Sata. I've done a degree in business community in 90, and I'm database stewarding in 90.
Excellent.
My name is Abdul Gappa, and I've been working at Morrison for the past 3 years.
Okay, thank you very much. Before we go anywhere, we're going to be carrying out some scenario-based training. Has anybody got any injuries or any medical conditions that might affect the training this afternoon?
No.
None at all. Okay, quick safety brief as well. When we start the scenario-based training, there will be no physical contact whatsoever. Scenario-based training is designed to test your skills and your knowledge. It gets you as realistic as possible. And when we do the scenario training, muscle memory starts kicking in, and we learn to do what we do during scenarios. Okay. The learning outcomes for this lesson today, we're going to look at the effective communication skills whilst dealing with someone in conflict management. So it's effective communication skills, how we communicate effectively with someone whilst dealing with conflict management. The second one, using positive body language whilst dealing with conflict management. How we're going to stand, how we're going to face a customer non-aggressively, in a calm and concise manner. So that's the two main ones. And briefly we'll touch on what affects effective communication. The blocks, there are certain things that can block effective communication. We'll touch on that briefly. Okay, first outcome, using effective communication skills whilst dealing with conflict management. Does anybody have any idea on effective communication skills? How could we speak to someone effectively? I'm going to put it open to the floor.
I think being positive, polite, professional with them.
Okay, Joe, that's fine. That's anybody else got anything?
For body language, eye contact.
Okay, that's going into the body language, but that's a good one there. The things we're looking at is we have to be positive, so we're not going to be negative with the customer. We're going to act in a positive, professional manner because we're being employed to do such. You're going to be calm. If you start to get excited, it's going to affect the customer, and it could just start disintegrating from there. So you have to act in a calm manner. You have to be clear and concise with your instructions while speaking to the customer. Okay, you don't want to problems we have sometimes, it could be regional accents, etc. But you want to be clear and concise. Firm, fair and friendly. Always think about the 3 F's when you're dealing with customers.
That's good.
You're going to be firm, you're going to be fair, but you're also going to be friendly. Okay, so there's quite a lot of communication skills there. So if you keep them in your head, because at the end of this lesson, there might be a little question based on those. Any questions thus far on communication? No. Next thing we're going to look at is positive body language whilst in a conflict situation. Can anybody in this side of the table think about positive body language? What are we talking about? What are we considering when we think about positive body language?
The way you're speaking around the hand gestures and stuff.
Correct, yep.
The way you stand.
The way you stand.
Yes.
Anything else from this side of the table?
I think your distance with the person.
Distance, that is a very important one. We can call that the reactionary gap or the distance from yourself. What sort of distance would you consider to be effective?
I think close enough so that they can hear you, but not too close where they can attack you. So I think even the distance between me and you now is okay, because
Yep.
you can hear me, I can hear you.
Yep.
If I came into your personal body space and there was a conflict situation, then there might be a fear that I might strike you
Yep.
or you might strike me, so you don't want to get into someone's personal body space.
Perfect answer. Okay, so normally, if you could put your hand up and you have got that space, that is an acceptable reactionary gap. Because if you're too close and you're nose to nose, that could be construed as being aggressive. So we have to be careful that we ourselves are, even though we're talking in a clear, concise, calm manner, our body language has shown us to be how the way we're talking. Okay, so you could be standing like this, hands together. Make sure there isn't a lot of eye contact, because straight away, if you look at someone too much, the first thing they're going to do is who you're looking at. Okay, because that can be seen as aggressive by a lot of people. The bladed stance side on, like so, could be seen as you're about to strike or you're about to be into an aggressive position. So you have to be careful you don't get yourself into that position either. So the main position is just feet shoulder width apart, hands at the front or hands at the back.
At the front.
At the front, yeah. Hands at the front. That is the best position.
Because then they can see your hands, you're not
You
hiding.
can see your hands and you're not, I was hoping somebody would pick that up there. I'm going to put the hands at the back. So hands at the front where they can be seen. Clenched fists, do you think?
No.
Again, that's not appropriate for a situation, is it? And that's letting them know you could be potentially going into a boxing stance or to strike. So it is hands like so. That is an effective body language. Do you think at the moment, how would that look if you came to a club and you saw me standing like that?
It's alright, it's acceptable.
That's it. I would say that would be acceptable.
Mm.
Smartly dressed with your
Mm.
badge
Mm.
in an acceptable position.
Mm.
So again, be careful of the facial expressions. Loads of people think they can read your face. You know, this is me happy. You know, so you've got to be careful that you are aware of your surroundings at all times, because there's going to be a lot of people, and you've got to be aware of your facial. You can't be sitting there thinking about the missus. She never did something, and your gritted teeth
Yeah.
gives off a wrong response. A frown in the face can give off a wrong response as well. So always be aware of how you're standing and how, because we're communicating with the public. Even though we're not speaking, we're still communicating with the public. Any questions thus far? So if I was to ask you just now, can you tell me a positive, how do you stand, a positive body stance? Would you be able to tell me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, there is also physical barriers to communication. I mentioned we would touch on that briefly. What physical barriers do you think we could have to effective communication?
Background noise. Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Go on.
Background noise.
Perfect. Background noise. If there's somebody drilling beside you and you're trying to communicate with somebody, you're getting nowhere. So you may have to ask the person to stop or to move somewhere quieter. Anything else?
Mental health.
Mental health, spot on. That can affect. Somebody could be looking at you, but they're not hearing you. They're thinking of other things. And there is a lot of mental health issues, unfortunately, today. So we, as door supervisors, have to be wary of that. Okay, we have to be wary of the mental health issues within the environment. So we need at least 3 for this question here at the end. So, not you, Joe. Can anybody on this side of the table tell me something?
Language barriers. Language barriers.
Perfect. You could be speaking to someone in my broad Scotch accent, which I'm trying to slow down so that people can understand me, and they might be from Portugal and they don't speak. So that's 2 of us that don't speak English. So we are going to have a concern there. So you're going to have to either get someone to help you or use gestures, or you're going to have to break it down. Okay, so that's language barriers. What other one? I briefly tipped on it there. Scotland, regional.
You could have, I think, regional dialects, or it could be slang.
Spot on there, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, this man's still in the class. You're looking at accents, regional accents. Newcastle, Birmingham, Liverpool, Fife up in Scotland. If you go right up to the Highlands, you don't want to go there because you will not understand what's happening up there. So that's barriers to effective communication. Any questions on what we've covered so far? Okay, based on the 3 little items, the outcomes I spoke about there, we're going to carry out a little scenario. This is the best way for us to learn. So I'm going to utilise the 4 E's. So if I could ask 1, 2, 3 to step outside just now, I'll brief you individually, so we're aware. Okay, Joe, the scenario is going to be we're at the outside of a Club Tropicana in Manchester. I have 2 doormen and a customer turns up, training shoes and shorts. Been out for a day and they're now coming to meet their friends. The dress code is very strict. There's no trainers, no shorts allowed. So one of the doormen refuses them entry. He's going to kick off. You're going to be the manager. After a few minutes, when I give you a thumbs up, you're going to hear what's happening. You're then going to come forward and there's a bit of signage there that basically says no training shoes and no shorts. But you're going to produce and say to the customer, unfortunately, on this occasion,
Is it going to be already there, or like
it's going to be there,
Yeah,
but you're just going to reinforce the fact that,
point to?
and point to it. At that point, I'll stop the exercise and then I'll come out with a wee scenario that can maybe change the direction. Okay, Joe, you happy with that?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Can you send the next one in, please?
Yes.
Okay, you're going to be the disgruntled customer. So you're going to turn up, you've been out all day, you're wearing training shoes and shorts. Your friends are inside, you didn't have time to go home and get changed. But you live quite close to the club. It's Club Tropicana. Fortunately, my doorman is going to refuse you entry. So without getting too disgruntled, you're just going to be concerned. Why can't I come in? I've been in here before. You're going to keep telling them, I'm always here. I've been in shorts before, but you haven't. But you're going to keep telling them that. When the manager comes, he will come eventually and he will point out the signage. I'll then stop it. I'll then give you the opportunity to go home and get changed. You will then say, if I go home and get changed, can I go to the front of the queue? You will say, yeah, you're allowed to do that. Everybody's happy. You happy with that? Yep. Okay, send in the first doorman, please. Okay, you're going to be one of my doormen.
Okay.
Okay, you're going to be the main doorman.
Okay.
What's going to happen is a customer is going to approach you wearing shorts. He's not got shorts on, but
Yeah.
in your head you can see shorts and training shoes.
Yeah.
He's just came from, he's been down the town.
Okay.
His friends are inside,
Okay.
stripped, no trainers and no shorts.
Okay.
Club Tropicana, Manchester, we don't allow, you've got to have nice trousers, jeans and shoes. So you're going to say, no, you can't come in. He's going to argue with you, but you're just going to have to keep your cool, effective communication,
Yep.
good body stance. I'm looking for the reactionary gap. I'm looking for good communication skills. The manager's then going to come through. He'll come and then he'll reiterate the fact that the signage is here.
Okay.
At that point, I'll stop it. We'll then look. And
So then I'm just telling you can't enter.
just keep saying,
These
sorry,
are the
sir,
rules.
you can't come in, but I'm looking for
So what is it? So I'm just
communication
telling
skills.
sir.
Yeah, I'm looking for a good stance.
So just stand like this.
Stand like that.
We can't allow
Yeah,
you in.
you can't
This
allow
is-
you in.
These are the rules.
These are the rules, sir. Unfortunately, you'll say, I've been in before. I said, yeah, I might recognise you, but unfortunately, sir, you've been in before. You know the rules
Okay.
and regulations. There's no way I can let you in here.
Okay.
It's going to go on for a few minutes.
A few minutes. Okay.
Once it stops, we'll then give him the option to go home, to get changed, to come back, and you'll say to him, if you go home and get changed, I'll let you in the front entry.
Okay. And he still refuses and the manager comes in.
But as soon as the manager comes in, the manager will show him that.
Okay.
I'll stop it then,
Okay.
and then we'll do another scenario.
Alright.
Okay?
Next one.
You're going to be a second doorman,
Yeah.
Colin. You're just there to back up, so I'm looking for you to
Yeah.
go in a good position.
Yeah.
A man stand up, training shoes and shorts.
Yeah.
He's not allowed entry.
Right.
He's not got appropriate dress code. So I just want to see you in a correct position,
Yeah.
supporting your colleague, but with a good positive body language.
Yeah.
In case it switches,
Yeah.
which is not going to. But
Although if you want to switch, go in the air or whatever.
yeah, but if it's going peak tone, I'll just come up and do that to you, right?
Yeah.
And that means switch. The manager will then come in, reinforce, no train shoes, no shoes,
Yeah.
shorts,
Fine, yeah.
and then we'll stop there, because we'll then give them an option.
Right. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah. No problem.
okay, so just tell everybody to come in.
Right, guys, come back in, please. Okay.
Okay, okay, this is the entrance, so if you can go for, okay, that's going to be the entrance at the club. If you're coming up this way, you're going to be standing here. Camera here. Oh, you better come up this way. I've got the camera for you.
This one.
Can you see this okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be your entrance there.
Entrance is there.
Yep. That's the signage. And you're going to be over here, sir.
Okay.
So you're facing that way.
Facing
Yeah,
out.
facing that way. Okay. Action.
No, it's that you can't enter the building because you're not dressed appropriately. This is not the dress code set.
Just like this.
No, sir, you're wearing shorts and trainers. This is not the dress code. You can't enter the.
I've been here many times with
I know,
shorts
sir,
on.
but this is not the dress code. As you can see, it's not no shoes and trainers allowed.
But I always come here like this.
You're
I'll be
wearing
there like me.
No,
Always.
but you know the dress code, sir. Even though I've seen you before, but you know very well this is not the dress code. So you're wearing shorts and trainers. This is not appropriate.
Man, just let me in. I always come here and they always let me in.
It's the same.
My friends are inside.
It's the same rule applies to everyone, sir. This so it's same rules to you as well. It's a policy. It's a company policy. We can't do anything.
Come on, man.
It applies to everyone.
How can I help? What's going on here?
He's not dressed appropriately, so I'm just not letting him in. That's
Come
all.
here every time, man.
So you can't get in. As you can see with the signage, it says no trainers, or no trainers and shoes. Well, no trainers and no shorts.
But I come here every time with shorts.
I don't think anyone will let you in because that policy has been here for 3 months now. So as you can see, you're not wearing the right trainers. You need to wear shoes, and you're wearing shorts. This is a high prestigious nightclub, and you can't come in.
Okay,
Sorry.
guys, I'm going to stop it there. So if we quickly, 3 go out, and then we'll reduce to here. Joe, you'll be first. I'll quickly give a brief to carry on. As short as I can. Okay, Joe. What you're going to suggest now is what I can do for you. Is you go home, get changed, come back with appropriate gear.
Yeah.
We'll let you in front of the queue. Okay. And that's just the way it's going to go. Okay.
All right, no.
So
Brendan, get involved.
just send the 2 doormen in.
Okay, 2 doormen.
Okay, guys, what's going to happen there? It's going to be quick. The manager's going to suggest that he goes home and gets changed. So again, once he agrees to that and he goes away, he'll then say you can come back and he'll put you to the front of the queue and let you in. So again, it's just looking to see your effective body stance, making sure perfect, there's no touching, which is good.
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll go into that. So if you just let the guy
So
go.
just when you come in, just let him in.
Yeah, once the manager will tell him, go home, he'll then go away,
Mm.
and then that's it. Okay, that's going to happen. The manager will tell you, he'll suggest to you, if you go home and get changed, when you come back, I'll let you go to the front of the queue, and you'll go. Okay, guys? Okay, John, so you're at the front there? Okay, action.
So you know what I can do for you? If you go home, get changed, because I know your friends are in here, and get changed, wear some shoes, wear some trousers, come appropriately, I'll let you to the front of the queue, and I'll let you into the venue.
So if I go home and get changed,
Yeah,
So
I'll let you to
you're-
the front of the queue, and I'll let you to the venue. That's the best I can do for you, sir.
I'll come back.
Okay then?
Okay, guys, that's it. Thank you. Call it quits there. Okay, guys, how do you think that went?
I think it went well. Typical scenario that'll
Yeah.
probably be happening in this weekend in nightclub. The only thing is, I don't think people will be wearing shorts because England is cold. But in other countries, it might be the case. So, but in other countries, they might allow shorts. But definitely with trainers and shoes, a lot of people come out with trainers and they're not allowed in because you need to wear shoes. So, classic examples of a nightclub in Manchester called China White. It's high end and don't let you in if you came with trainers.
So, I don't know if you've heard of the Tiger Lily in Edinburgh.
No.
Just very prestigious. I live in Edinburgh, and I know a lot of the operators up there. And at the moment, shorts and train shoes.
Is it?
It's incredible the amount of people that have been out with shorts and
They
train
allow
shoes.
them in.
They're not getting in,
Oh, they're not getting
but
in.
they're turning up
In shorts.
to try and gain entry. Shorts,
Wow.
t-shirts.
In Edinburgh.
In Edinburgh, in
In
cold
Edinburgh. So you think the temperature up in Edinburgh?
That's
Wow.
what it is.
But there you go. Okay, guys, what I'm going to do is quick debrief of what happened there. Yourself, disgruntled customer, very good. You're quite calm as well. Got a wee bit disgruntled. You've been to the club before. You were refused entry because of your dress. You know the dress code. There was signage outside the club because it's quite a prestigious club. You didn't get too stroppy, too excited. I think that was down to the control that my colleague had there. But you were then given an option to go home, get changed, and when you arrive back, you're going to get to the front of the queue, which I thought was a great compromise
Yeah.
in that situation. You know, flexibility was used and a good compromise was gained.
As long as given a gift. So I gave you a gift.
That's what it was. Win-win situation, wasn't it? Self, very calm. I didn't have to stop any time during that little scenario there because you're calm, you're clear, you're concise, your body language was good. You didn't look aggressive at any time at all. You're communicating well with the customer up to the point where the manager, he heard what was going on, so he approached. Again, veteran, very clear, concise, calm, cool, firm, fair, friendly. What can I say? Did his stuff, spoke to the guy. He was more than happy to go back. Your colleague there, perfect. Sat off, good position, good reactionary gap. His body language was good. He wasn't showing any aggression. Facial expression was clear. Wasn't a lot of eye contact with the customer, but his peripheral vision allowed him to see and to hear exactly what was going on. And what I liked about that as well, we kept the safety brief, which was no physical contact during the scenario. So nobody touched anybody during the role play. So I thought that went well, and that was excellent. Covered all the elements of the scenario. Again, the scenarios are there, they're based there, they're to test your skill, your understanding, your knowledge, your attitude and your behaviour. There's a mnemonic CUSAD, knowledge, understanding, skills, attitude and behaviour. They were all tested there. The muscle memory kicks in, there wasn't any tunnel vision, everybody knew exactly what they were doing. So I was more than happy with that. Okay, so just to confirm there, we spoke about good communication skills. I'm not going to tell you what they are because I'm going to hand out this little question here. You'll tell me what they are. Spoke about the positive body language, the stance to adopt, not to look aggressive, just keep it down, because we're trying to de-escalate here, we're trying to bring a disgruntled customer down. And we spoke about barriers to effective communication. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand out 4 sheets. So this is going to test your skill on the learning outcomes to see how you have been listening. Just take your time. And I better give you a pen. Sorry. So it's number 1, list 4 examples of effective communicating skills. What is meant by positive body language when it's dealing with conflict management? Briefly, we discussed that. And name 3 barriers to effective communication. If there's any problems with those questions, just raise your hand. I shall cover this. Once you're finished, if you could just place your pen on the table so that I know. Okay, thank you. You happy with Joe? You finished there?
Yeah.
Take this one in. How are we doing for time? Excellent. Okay, gents, so once you're finished, you just place your pen. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, gents, thanks very much. I've had a brief look at these and they do look okay. We'll mark them later, and if there's any feedback I shall get back to you at a later date, but my initial look at them, you seem to have taken them in. So looking at my learning outcomes at the start of the lesson, first one was use effective communication skills whilst dealing with conflict management. Do you think we've ticked that box?
Yes.
Do you think we've achieved that today?
Yes, we have.
The second one, use positive body language whilst dealing with conflict management. Do you think we've ticked that box?
Yes.
And the third one was barriers to communication. Do you think we've ticked that box as well?
Yes.
Does anybody get any injuries or medical conditions from the little scenario that we carried out?
No, we haven't, no.
No, that's great. Okay, gents, thank you very much for your time. Look forward to your next lesson. which is Kung Fu.
All right, Abdul, how do you think it went? If you go to the front, do a debrief.
Okay, I think it went really well. You were really nice and clear with really good examples. Very good at explaining things in detail and very good at coming back to your learning outcomes. And when you explain the stuff and you keep on asking us questions, like if you understand the learning outcome or if you understand, and you were telling us that make sure if you have any questions, keep on asking us. And there is a test at the end to make sure that so that was very good. The scenario was very nice and clear, and it was very good understanding. And you stopped us when the learner was one learner was keep on saying all the answers. You stopped the learner and said, "Don't answer that." The other learners could talk more about it. That was very good. So that was very good. Everything was good.
I think your presentation skills were great because we understood everything you said. Your communication, your language, the way you were speaking was very clear. The scenario you explained every single one, each detail, so we know exactly what to do. So I knew my part, what to say at what time, when to stop, what's the keywords to stop, and what exactly what sentence do I have to say in the scenario. So and you also said what we meet by doing this each scenario, and all the communication skills are effective. You spoke about the beginning, that was great. So we have clear understanding, and you also can add to them as you did the scenarios. And you also the good thing I like was you came back to your outcome to show that you actually achieved them. So that was great.
Yeah, I'm just saying very clear understanding, make sure everyone understand the part in the scenarios, and I'm just saying the contents as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it went well. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was clear. Everyone knew exactly what to do. I think the learning outcomes were good. You had 3, which is, I think, is sufficient. You gave us different questioning, verbal questions, written questions, and made sure that we did learn what we were meant to learn. So I think it was great. Well done.
Thank you very much.
How do you think it went?
Yeah, I thought I'll just sort of concur with what you have said. I was pleased with how it went, and I was pleased with how it went. That's what I can say on it.
Okay, thanks.
It went well.
Okay, thanks.